Because the crash in September 2008 was stage one. Stage two was get the governments to hose money, credit at the problem and make it disappear. Not the problem disappear, mind, make the money disappear, which is what's happened. And the idea of stage two is to empty the pockets, empty the barrels of the governments in terms of reacting to economic crisis, and all the kind of credit lines are over. And then they plan to stage three, which is to crash it massively. And at that point, there's no government response possible, even a useless one like we've just seen. And so the banking system, controlled by the Rothschilds, is then going to come forward and say, oh, we must do this. We must be allowed to do this if we're going to sort this out.
That just
will
happened
be a
at
world
the
central
G20,
bank, et cetera, and all the stuff that they want. Yeah. They also want a third world war involving China and Europe and North America and Russia and all the rest of it, because they want to create a massive global problem which they can offer the solution to, which is world government and a world army controlled by the world government, so bring an end to wars between countries, problem, reaction, solution. So all these are in the pipeline. So we're now being challenged as consciousness, having an experience, to meet this challenge. And at the moment, anyway, it's extremely encouraging with what's happening with the swine flu. But they're going to try to up the ante with that. We still have to hold this line: no, no, no. And like I keep saying, and it's so true, we have the numbers. And if we do things in numbers, the control system is impotent. It can't cope with the numbers. That's why it wants to divide and rule us, as you quite rightly said, and it does it in all these different manufactured fault lines that divide us, like religion and race and income bracket. It has to keep us in a divided state. If we come together and unite behind what affects us all and all our children, all our grandchildren, basic human freedom, then this control system can't cope with those numbers. And the challenge is there. We must meet it.
Well, I think it's already happening, David, as you, I think, accurately mentioned. And you know, I have to look, when you say there's going to be a big crash, there's going to be World War III, I have no doubt they're going to go in heavily to Pakistan and into Africa. That we can all see. In fact, that today, a big bomb killed 41 people. We had terrorists running all around here last month. We caught them all, of course, in a perfect capturing mode, just as they were about to push the button and blow up buildings. We got every single one of them in all the different states. It is George Bush recycled here, but I just wonder if they're going too far, and if trying these things, as we saw the vaccination thing fail, we saw health care fail, that is, again, locking us all into this freedom-stealing global system that decides life and death for all Americans. All this cap and trade is probably going to fail, at least in the Senate, and it's going to be real tough for these guys to get this stuff through. I just wonder if trying to pull any more of this is going to completely backfire on them, and maybe if that's the case, we should say, as George Bush said once, bring it on.
Yeah, well, that is a very, very good point. And if I could just say one thing quickly, if the technical people could just turn you up a bit, because you've gone a bit low on me, but okay. Yeah, it's a major point, and there's a reason for this. It's a long story. I'll talk about it in Phoenix, but they have a time scale to get this in because of something that's coming. And so that time scale is being squeezed all the time. As a result, they have got to play many cards very, very quickly. And that is having the effect, and will even more have the effect, that you quite rightly say, of it becoming more and more obvious. And there is this idea, and I understand it, that here we have these arrogant, controlling people who are completely in control of things. They are panicking to get this control system in, not least the microchips, where they can externally access our mental, emotional, and physical processes, because they have a time scale. And if they don't meet the time scale, they're not going to meet the time scale, but they're going to make life very unpleasant for a while, few years. Then this control system's coming down. But what we need to do is slow it down its progress, because then by the time it comes down, and it will not be as extreme as it would be if we do nothing. And again, getting access to almost everyone on the planet via the vaccine with microchips and attacking an immune system, this is a crucial, massive stone in the wall that is so important. If this fails, as it is at the moment going to fail, then a whole massive spanner has been thrown in the whole works of this, because they need to get access to our mental and emotional processes so that they and undermine us mentally, emotionally, and physically through the poisons in this stuff, so that they can go to the next stage of control. If they don't get that, they won't get that. And so this is such an important time, and there's nothing in people's lives that is more important than focusing on this, because everything in people's lives comes from it.
Yeah, I mean, there's other ways to do this. I think that they kind of get off on forcing us to do it when they can simply just put things in the water, though we're all starting to figure out how to filter our water, how to eat good food. I mean, it's all coming apart, and that is such a great thing, David. I mean, for you and me, we've been at this for decades. It just feels so good that we're finally getting to the place where even, groupthink Stepford Republicans are standing up for themselves, and some of these robot radicals are waking up, and our audience is out really doing some great work, and all the people that have come to you, including many, many celebrities. We just heard Muse. Robbie Williams is a big fan of yours. I mean, we just hear we're going to meet some out in Phoenix. I mean, it just seems like it's over. Game over.
Well, I've spoken in Amsterdam in Europe about 3 weeks ago, in Washington State last week, in Santa Fe, New Mexico yesterday, and the energy is just fantastic. And wherever you go, and it's all walks of life. I was speaking to a gentleman who came to the Santa Fe event yesterday, and 3 months ago he said he was solid gold asleep. He was totally in the system. And 3 months later, he's flying from Texas, from Austin, I think it was, to Santa Fe, to an event that is not just talking about a conspiracy, it's like banking scams. It's going really, really deep in some really challenging areas, like what is reality and other levels of control outside of the reality that we're experiencing and all that stuff. So this sort of awakening is happening so fast, and people are moving enormous distances in their perception very quickly. And it just is a great time to be in this reality as this happens. It's a privilege to be part of it. But like when you corner a rat, it just thrashes out at you. And so in the process of this system going down, it's going to thrash out, and it's going to try to play every card it can.
I can just crush it under my Chuck Taylor, that rat. It doesn't scare me. Just a little rat. I don't care if there's 100 of them. Mason. David Icke with us. We'll come back. We'll take your calls, 512-879-3805. Stay with us, folks. Deadline Live, AmericanFreedomRadio.com.